Is CZN the most free-to-play gacha ever? Maybe. I don't actually know ever. I don't know enough about the history of gachas and all that to actually say that. But I will say this game is the most free-to-play gacha game I've ever played. And that's kind of feels like a weird statement because if you look at the game itself, it has all the makings of a traditional greedy style gacha, right? Its packages are not particularly good. This has $100 packages with 30 summons, maybe a bit more with the crystals, but like it's not a super good deal at all. One, it's $100 in a gacha is never a good deal, but you know what I mean? Like comparatively to their baseline summon cost, you're not getting that much value. You're not getting that 800%. A lot of these they're not very good. Like most of the shop sucks. And the best deal is actually just getting the double crystals. When that's your best deal, like you're not in a very good spot, right? And then if you go into the combatants, like the combatants want how many? They want 6 dupes, which means 7 copies total, 1 initial copy, and then 6 dupes to max out characters. And you see this here, they could even add more, like it wouldn't be hard for them to add like another 7th one or something like that. Not that I think they would, but there's a lot of dupes that you can get. And then they have multiple banners in the sense that it's like, you give the character with a lot of dupes, and then you have also the partner, right? Which is just a weapon, right? This is just a character specific weapon. Yes, you could use it on everybody, but I mean, light cones, weapons, whatever you want to call them, that's what they are, okay? And the fact that they're characters probably makes people more likely to spend on them, where people don't like spending on weapon banners, but by making them characters, it feels like it's cooler, like it's a way to just get more money. And so you're like, well, I hear all this, like, how is this game free to play, Plat? It's actually crazy because you don't need to spend any of that money on any of this crap. Like you could get the 5 stars, you can get the partners, but if you're looking at like the most powerful characters in the game, a lot of them are 4 stars. I mean, I'm talking Mika, Beryl, Owen, Tressa. I honestly think Ray is really good. Selena is really good. Lucas is really good. Cassius is really good. Like, I'm not sold on Nia right now, Amir and Maribel, but I mean, that's 3 out of all of them. And Mika might just literally be the best character in the entire game. I don't even know if it's really debatable. I think she is insanely good. So a 5-star version of her will break the game in half. But if you look at the characters they've released, Haru and Yuki, they're pretty mid. Like, they're not bad. They're like fun and they have some interesting mechanics and they're cool. Well, Yuki is kind of boring as well, but they're just like not as good as like their 4-star counterparts, really. It's kind of crazy. And if you come to the hardest content in the game currently, at least that I'm aware of, you come over here, Chaos. I'm still going for level 10 and level 11 here, but I cleared level 9, and this is the team I used. I used Mika, Owen, Tressa. And in fact, I was using Mika, Owen, Yuki, Mika, Owen, Renoa, and they were just weaker than Tressa was. Like when you get Tressa's, like you have to high roll with Tressa a little bit, but she just does more damage than they did in a more consistent way with simpler mechanics, at least in my opinion. So that was just kind of crazy in general. And if you look at these characters, like, unless I'm mistaken, because I misremember the intro of the game, I think these are the 3 free characters that you get, right? Mika is definitely like the first character you get, and then Owen is like there too, right? I have Mika and Owen, and I'm pretty sure it's Tressa. I could be wrong, but I think these are like literally the 3 characters that you don't even need to pull for to get. And I do have 6 copies, right, of Tressa and Mika, and only 3 of Owen. But like Tressa at 0 copies, the 1 copy is like 90% of the power. She's like totally full of firing on all cylinders at basically no copies. Mika is very similar. Like she's firing on pretty much all cylinders at very low copies as well. Owen is similar. You kind of want 2 copies on Owen. You want the chip damage of drawing the, the wind charge, but even then it's like, it's not that crazy. These characters don't need that many dupes, and they're clearing literally the hardest content of the game. And it's not like they're maxed out. Like, yeah, level 51, we're getting pretty high. And I have level 50 partners, not level 60 partners, not level 60 characters, and not even broken through Tressa yet. So it's not like their stats are broken. Their gear isn't necessarily super broken. I mean, I've farmed a little bit of gear for sure. It's like reasonable, but it's not min-maxed at all. Not to mention on Kentress level 9. This is currently like the hardest boss fight I think you could do. I did all 9 of the things. I did this, and this is my team: Mika, Tressa, and Cassius. 4-star, 4-star, 4-star. Like, it's actually kind of crazy how powerful these units are when you're using them together, and you kind of just know how to build teams and stuff, and you know how to play the game in general. Not that I do perfect, but at this point, I'm basically using 5 stars just for like laughs, just for like fun, because like, all right, I've done this run and I won with it. Let's try it with K-Ron. I did 3 times. I did way worse using K-Ron over Tressa. Way worse using Renoa Yuki over Tressa. She's just that good. Like, and that's not to say you can't win with, of course you can win the 5 stars. The 5 stars are good as well. But the whole point of this is like, this feels like the most free-to-play friendly game because I'm honestly a little nervous. I think they may not have put enough power behind a paywall to make money. Because right now, like, I'm gonna spend money a little bit and I'm gonna do some polls and stuff like that. But part of me is wondering, like, is the average player ever gonna need to pull for anything other than like the most broken characters that come out? And right now it seems like no, right? If you have the 4 stars, you know, at a reasonable level, and you have a few select, you probably want Calipe, you probably want Maylin, and then I guess you want Veronica, right? Like, those are probably the 3 that you're gonna want. I mean, Hugo's good too, right? I personally don't really enjoy his playstyle, but yeah, I mean, Calipe, Hugo, Maylin, and maybe Veronica are probably the ones that you want to get. But it's not like you need them at all. I haven't used any of these characters in a week. I haven't used Hugo in 2 weeks. I haven't used Calipe in 2 weeks. I haven't used Maylin in a week. And Veronica I've been using today because she's fun, because she draws cards for, I was using her with K-Ron just because it was fun. But yeah, I don't need to go on forever and ever. Like, this doesn't need to be a long video, but I'm kind of interested in what you think. Is this the most free-to-play gacha you've played? Is there another gacha you've played where there's so much power in the lower rarities, and like the difference between a 4-star and a 5-star feels like the color of their border almost, right? Like, the kits are maybe slightly more complex, but not really. Like, Luke could easily be a 4-star, I feel like. I don't feel like there's anything about Luke that's inherently 5-star. I mean, obviously you compare Luke to Lucas, his bullets cost 0, Lucas's cost 1. Yeah, Luke can go off a bit harder, but Lucas is arguably better in some ways as well, because Lucas is better at AoE and stuff like that. And so it's just kind of like, all the characters are pretty distinct, but it is to me just so interesting that this game is so affordable, and as someone has spent money, most of the thing I've spent on, it was Haru and Yuki. I don't even use them. All right. The reason I pulled on them is right because I was building characters on their banner as well, not just those characters. But yeah, this game is kind of crazy where it's at. One thing I actually, before we go, one thing I think that they should consider doing is, I think they should consider monetizing this. They never will, because it's been too late, right? I don't think you can do it after the fact, but why is this not monetized? Why can't I spend gems on this? Would it just be done too fast, you think? Make it expensive. I just feel like out of all the things to paywall, cosmetics is like the thing, right? Now, I'm not saying, like, am I saying they should paywall cosmetics? Yeah, kind of. Like, that's the main way I would prefer the game to be supported, is people get it is nice to get cosmetics for free. I'm not saying they don't throw us a bone and give us some free cosmetics where you get a cool shiny card, but like, this is the kind of thing whales would absolutely buy. And if they can use this to monetize the game and not have to go so hard on power creep, which they haven't yet, but I am nervous if the game starts to fail because people don't have to pull for characters because your other characters are so strong already, that maybe it'll be like they'll have to go power creep extra hard. My nightmare is that they power creep, they go super hard on the partners where they make like half characters and then the other half is actually in the partner. And then worse, if you need to get dupes of the partner to make the character really work, then it's just like everyone's unhappy, right? And then it's a way to get the whales to spend a bunch of money, but it's also a single player game. So like, who are you competing against? So yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting spot to be in. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is this the most free-to-play gacha? What are, if it's not, what are ones that are even more free-to-play? I've played gachas where the lower rarity units are good. I've never played a gacha where the lower rarity units are arguably the best. So that's kind of a fun spot to be in. And honestly, they're really fun characters as well. Anyway, that's all for today. Much love for platypuses per platypus. I will see you on the flip-flops. Bye!